Good evening, the audience who's listening to our podcast. Mathematics Corner has great pleasure to present all of you a very interesting topic, which is about speaking skills. Before we begin our speech, I have to introduce our members first. We got Miss Sunsi Suchita, who is a typist for our presentation and helps us to write successfully. Miss Pingsong Suzana, Chipik Jamnan, and Sumanipik, who took responsibility to collect facts and information for the presentation. Moreover, we all helped each other to edit and share some supporting ideas as well. Well, let's move on to the speaker. All of you will hear me speaking for a whole podcast because I'm a speaker for our Mathematics Corner group whose name Dan Kavirot. Okay, let me turn to our main purpose of podcast. Speaking is one of the important skills for learning English. From day to day, Cambodians are starting to pay more attention learning worldwide language, English. In fact, there are four main macro skills like reading, writing, listening, and speaking, which are all important in their own right. However, we found that the major problem that most Cambodians are facing nowadays is with speaking. First of all, we have to know what are the main troubles or difficulties for Cambodians to confront when we are speaking. The major difficulty we all consider is bad communication. For example, some of Cambodians feel shy to speak or communicate with others. Time might be a very potential reason for this problem due to the fact that people need time to practice speaking. Therefore, you can improve your speaking with people around you, in particular friends, native speakers, or relatives as well. Moreover, you can choose a topic to talk and practice in front of the mirror. That might sound funny to you, but it is a very good way to improve your speaking. Apart from this, grammar is also one of the skills that most people concern about during the time they are speaking. In communication, most of us always feel afraid to use incorrect grammar, and that's the thing which irritates our conversation. Not only grammar but structures play a main role in speaking, so if people make a lot of mistakes, they may not speak much because they try to avoid others from laughing or making fun of them. Furthermore, one other cause is related to vocabulary. I meant that it is difficult for us to use words in the right situations and difficult to use them appropriately. Another problem might be lack of self-confidence. Do you know what does self-confidence mean? Well, self-confidence refers to the belief that you trust or rely on your own abilities. Consequently, in every task you do, you must have self-confidence in yourself in order to achieve successfully. For instance, during the time you speak, if you don't trust your ability, you might start to stutter and confused with what you are going to talk next. Last but not least is about pronunciation. In fact, most of the native speakers or foreigners have problems with Cambodian pronunciation. The reason is that we pronounce some unclear words which are hard for native speakers to understand. As a result, it is the difficulty to converse between Cambodians and foreigners. What is more, we might pronounce "she" instead of "she" and "think" instead of "think." So, we can see that Cambodians still have some points to improve with pronunciation. On the other hand, the main purpose of our podcast is to inform and show people about the ways to improve their speaking, such as practice and joint activities which help them with their weak points. Besides this, to be a good speaker, we must have self-belief or self-confidence in order to be brave enough for communicating with foreigners. Everybody should pay attention on structures, grammar, and vocabulary, which are very important for your whole speech. Another method to develop yourself is to spend time on listening, reading, or watching some educational programs. Then, notice on how foreigners pronounce some strange words that you never heard of. Final step to do is to repeat it frequently. Speak out loud precisely, don't be bashful, and stay confident. Taking everything into account, one thing to remember is that speak slowly or speedy is not the essential point, but fluency and accuracy are the most important things for everybody to concentrate. Otherwise, taking notes is a good technique for every student to do, especially if we can take notes from the TV, radios, and newspapers, while we are watching, listening, and reading. As a matter of fact, a good speaker usually has high general knowledge in order to speak well from their mind and express good ideas and information. Thanks for your kind attention to our podcast, and Mathematics Corner hope you will follow these stochastic steps and improve yourself to be a very good speaker. Thanks.
Okay.